Welcome to February's Cookbook Corner. This month we're going to be making a vegan meatloaf. It is Mama's Meatloaf from Cooking from the Spirit by Tabitha Brown. It is her newest cookbook. We will have it available in our catalog for you to check out. And this is my first time cooking vegan, so bear with me. I have ingredients that I've never used before, so we're going to learn together. We are going to get started building our meatloaf. The instructions for these are really nice and simple. Tabitha definitely named her cookbook appropriately, Cooking from the Spirit, because she doesn't exactly give you a whole lot of measurements. We're going on ancestor speaking. So this is our Impossible beef. Again, we are making vegan meatloaf. So we've got our Impossible beef. We've got our bell peppers and onions. The one thing that I have never, ever used that we will be using is liquid aminos. You can do soy sauce or coconut aminos or liquid aminos. I chose to go with the liquid aminos because that seemed like a better option than the coconut for this recipe. So we've got our 2 pounds of vegan meat, and we are going to add, I'm not going to add all of these onions and bell peppers, but we're going to add a good chunk of them. So 1 medium onion, 1 green bell pepper, and 1 red bell pepper. And then we are just going to get messy. You are going to add some of your multi-spice seasoning. And again, good old Tab does not necessarily give you amounts, so you season to your heart's content. And then she said about a handful of breadcrumbs. If you've never made meatloaf before, you are definitely looking for more of a like doughy sort of texture. You don't want it to feel just like ground meat. You absolutely want it to kind of make it into a loaf. And then we are going to do 2 tablespoons of our ground flaxseed. Try and get that a little more even. And you've got about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water just for a little extra moisture. I'm going to start with 2. And then we are sprinkling just a little bit of the aminos. I would say probably about 2 tablespoons or so. And then we are doing some yellow mustard, just plain yellow mustard, like you put on hot dogs, hamburgers, tuna chicken salad. I don't necessarily like the consistency of this just yet, so we're gonna add a little bit more of the breadcrumbs. You can absolutely use a spoon for this. I just like sensory interacting with my food. So, and I did wash my hands. So you are going to use an 8-inch or 9-inch square casserole dish. We do not necessarily have one of those available to us this morning, so we are using a 9.5-inch pie dish. You can also use a loaf pan if you'd like yours a little more contained than a casserole dish. Move my recipe out of the way. I know it seems weird to some people, but you do actually add brown sugar to meatloaf. All right, so now we are going to take this and put it in our pie plate. Very colorful with the red pepper, green pepper, and onion. And we are going to get started on our sauce. So the sauce for the topping of your meatloaf is going to be ketchup, mustard, and brown sugar with an option for maple syrup. I have chosen not to do the maple syrup. So we are going to start with our ketchup. It is 1 cup of ketchup. So you're definitely going to be using quite a bit of ketchup. So we've got our ketchup, and then about 2 tablespoons of mustard. And then about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. So I'm just gonna do a good little fingerful since my tablespoon now has mustard all over it. Give that a good mix. You can absolutely use the maple syrup. I just don't particularly enjoy sweet meatloaf. I definitely prefer it to be savory. And so I tend to not use maple syrup in any of my meatloaf recipes. All right, so that is good and mixed. And we are just going to pour that on top of our meatloaf and pop it in the oven for about an hour or until the meatloaf is firm and the edges have browned. So we've got our meatloaf, and I'm right-handed, so pardon the awkwardness, but I want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to dump it on top and then we're going to spread it out so that I'm not trying to maneuver this bowl awkwardly. All right, into the oven we go. And again, that'll be for an hour or until the edges have browned and the meatloaf itself is firm. Okay, our meatloaf is done and ready to come out of the oven. And I need something for my face. Oh, that looks so pretty, guys. Got it nice. And so there is some blackening on the top. That is okay. It's the sugar in your ketchup and everything that has slightly burned. But please don't think that you've ruined your meatloaf. Thank you so much for joining us for February's Cookbook Corner, where we made Mama's Meatloaf from Tabitha Brown's Cooking from the Spirit. It is our vegan meatloaf. This is our lovely finished product, and I cannot wait to enjoy it for lunch. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on our future cooking videos, book reviews, and cozy story times with Mary.